quite innovative, interesting programs. The Chefs program, now the Sommelier program. And my understanding from the comments made by the Minister at the event was that this was a skill that was identified as a scarce skill. Just take us through, why this program and why targeting young people.
Karema, thank you very much. I think all of this links back really to our national tourism sector strategy that focuses on skills development and also on transformation. We really need to transform the tourism sector, or the tourism industry at least. And these programs are implemented under the Expanded Public Works program, and that program specifically focuses on job creation. So getting young people and upskilling servers and skills in the industry is critical for us. It's also important for us to convey to young people that tourism actually offers a career. So you mentioned the chef training course, and you mentioned the sommelier course, and yes, internationally this is something that is in big demand, and as part of the value add in our hospitality and our services, the sommelier program is obviously very important. It's critical when you go to a restaurant to understand what is the best kind of wine with your salmon or your steak or whatever it is. So yes, it is an exciting program, and it definitely broadens the scope for youth in tourism and in general in job opportunities.
Now, if we take the tourism industry and sector, as a whole, the Minister's been very keen to locate the kind of key objectives of the tourism strategy within the broader context of the new growth path. Just take us through, what the kind of plan is to use tourism to generate not just revenue, but also job creation and create employment opportunities, not just for young people, but for South Africans generally.
I think generally tourism is obviously a big driver, and it has been identified as one of the 6 pillars in the economy of South Africa. So from that point of view, and also as the National Department of Tourism, we respond to the broader outcomes of job creation. So I must say everything that we do focuses on how many jobs are we going to create, and there's a lot of pressure on us, and we take this very seriously. And for example, also through our tourism enterprise program, we are particularly looking at how we can support businesses to actually maintain their jobs, especially in tough economic times.
In fact, I wanted to come in there. I mean, Europe is going through a huge financial crisis. People from that part of the world often flock to South Africa, obviously having quite an adverse effect. If hotels and other places where people visit, they're obviously having to cut down staff and readjust their outlook and their targets. What does the tourism department do to help support businesses like that obviously have to almost readjust their expectations, if you like, and prevent the inevitable kind of job losses or having to let key people go in establishments as numbers just don't come in as much as they ought to?
Karema, we have a number of programs. For example, we assist small businesses with market access. So in other words, we assist them to market themselves. We train them and we assist them with the skills to better market themselves. We assist them with mentorship. So we take small businesses and we align them with, for example, a big hotel group, and the general manager of a hotel group of a specific hotel then becomes a mentor for a small business. We also assist them with the business development fund. So there's a number of important activities that we engage in to really support the small businesses. And I was looking at numbers today just in terms of the incremental job growth for small businesses, and although it's not as much as we expected for Q2 of this year, it was around 1,260 jobs that incrementally grew in the small business sector in tourism. So that is critical for us, and we monitor that very closely, and we can validate that it's not just what we think it is. It's we can pick up the phone and say, business A, is this the case? Did your business grow? So yes, we do take the job creation aspect very seriously. It's not always easy, but yes, it's a critical issue for us.
Now, to come back to the question of young people and skilling, you know, those are the two initiatives. Tell us about the sommelier program. I mean, there's often the idea that being a waiter or working in a hotel is not necessarily a skill that one requires. You know, anyone can serve at a table and so on. How important is it to understand that one can actually build a career, you know, out of being in the hospitality industry? And to what extent does the department's program that you've outlined, you know, make that possible for young people to understand? Do you liaise, for example, with your hospitality schools at tertiary institutions? How does it all work? How does someone get taken up into a program like that?
We've got a number of programs. Just to create the awareness, we, on an annual basis, host the National Tourism Careers Expo. This year it was hosted in East London, and we had about 7,000 learners coming through the doors, and we explained to them what is tourism all about, what the kind of careers are, that they can actually enter into. And yes, we do work very closely with the training institutions, with Wethausen, with the hospitality associations. And we also work very closely with the Ubuntu Institute, and the Ubuntu Institute, we assist them, and they send unemployed graduates and learners in the tourism industry overseas, and they get experience, like in the Hiltons and the Ritz hotels of the world. And we look, some of them are returning next year from April onwards. So these are the kind of partnerships that we form to really get our youth excellent exposure and to really assist them. And often the good ones come from rural areas, so they need money, they need a support with passports, these kind of things. But we do work very closely with the industry, with the accommodations associations, with the business council, etc. Yeah.